What up, YouTube? It's your host with the most, Gio. As promised, today we got your tidbit of wisdom. Now, from the camera, you can probably see my tower of Pisa, my tower of books we got going on over here. It feels like a freaking Jenga puzzle, but in total right now, I feel like I got like 55 books, and those that know me personally know that I'm a very avid reader. I love reading. There's like so much knowledge to gain out there. But today, for this week's book that I read, we got one of my new favorites actually. We got Relentless, From Good to Great to Unstoppable by Tim Grover. Now Tim, he's a elite athletic coach or trainer. He trained Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Michael Jordan, and like really top elite athletes. And the reason why this is one of my favorite books probably ever is because I related a lot to this one actually. Like, it reminded me that there's other people out there with my mentality. Like, sometimes I reflect, right? I think about life. If you guys watched my last video, you guys know about the art of reflecting. How you reflect and you think about where you're going and all that. When I reflect and I see myself and I compare myself to my peers, right? And we're just so different. Like, I'm not your average 19-year-old. And I'm sure, like, if you guys are watching this, there's something inside of you that's not average either. But, I mean, I say not your average 19-year-old, and people might think that I'm arrogant, I'm pretentious, or I think I'm better than everybody else. But, honestly, no. Like, that word better is relative. Like, what is my opinion in comparison to yours? Is mine better? No. It depends on who you ask, actually. But I don't consider myself better than anybody else. I just know that I'm very success oriented, I'm very goal minded. So whenever I set my mind to something, I know for a fact I'm gonna get it no matter what. And the average just isn't like that. The average mentality, what society wants to teach you, is to try your best. Which he actually mentions that in this book. Like, either you do or you do not. There is no such thing as trying. Master Yoda from Star Wars, he actually said that. But that's true. People say, oh, I tried my best, as if it's an excuse that exemplifies them from having responsibility over their failure. But I feel like that's completely wrong. It's a waste of your time. If someone does that to me, like, they're like, oh, I tried my best, I'm not going to rely on that person ever again, because I know for a fact they're full of shit. Excuse my language. But he talks a lot about that relentless mentality that you got to have. And this is why, like, I relate a lot to it. He talks, I'm going to just read you, I'll probably read you a couple passages here and there. But there's this one passage in this page 212, one of my favorite numbers, coincidentally. He says, if you aim at excellence, you have to be willing to sacrifice. That is the price of success. Wow. And this whole book, I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm just going to flip through. There's like so many tidbits of wisdom in here. It's ridiculous. But that's true, man. We gotta, if we want success, if we want that goal, like, your goals might not be my goals, and my goals vice versa, you know? But whatever the goal is, the reason you don't have it right now is because of the way you're living your life. So if your goal really is a goal, you must sacrifice. You must lose some things in order to gain a better ending, a better future. And then sometimes, like I mentioned, I think I'm crazy because I compare myself to my peers and I'm just like, dude, I'm not having fun like what society calls fun. I don't go out partying every night. I don't go out smoking, drinking, having an immoral lifestyle all the time, playing video games, indulging myself, like all that. I work Sunday through Sunday, 24/7. Or I try to. That's why, like, I try reading a whole bunch of books about like being productive and maximizing that. Even this book really taught me about being relentless more. Like, you finish something, good, done. Next, what's next? You see what I'm saying? That's what separates. Like, if you're with me, you know what I'm talking about. That's what separates me and whoever relates to that from the average. Like, I compare myself to my peers, and we're going on different paths, to say the least. Like, even if you're like a 10-degree difference, right? In the course of a long run, like in 10 years, you're a whole two different people, man. So what my goal is for this YouTube channel is actually to really inspire whoever has ears to hear and whoever really wants to be better in the future than their peers, or be in a different circumstance than their peers. Mind you, the majority of what I talk about is success. I'm not talking about, oh, you have all these like hoes or whatever. I mean, if that's your goal of success, you can learn something too. I'm not trying to live a freaking average lifestyle where it's like, okay, I succeeded. I make $80,000 a year. Okay, what is that? The bottom of the top 1% of America makes $400K every year. See what I'm saying? Success. Where are you trying to be? Are you trying to be at the top, or are you trying to be scratching with the turkeys on the bottom? Because you could either fly with the eagles, or you could scratch with the turkeys and the chickens, right? That's what separates me and you, my friends, from everybody else. Like I said, it's not better, it's just different. Now, what he talks a lot about is that ruthless mentality and how getting the job done no matter what. And oh, okay, I just opened up to a random page. I'll read you this passage. This is actually one of my favorites in the whole book. I always felt Michael's legendary trash talking wasn't meant for the other guy. It was another way for him to hide the pressure he put on himself. Because once you've told others how bad you're about to fuck them up, you're going to have to deliver on that promise. Boom. That's that relentless mentality. Oh, something to mention though, and this is something that I related a lot with, that to be relentless, you have to create your own pressure. You have to put so much pressure on yourself that nothing in your circumstances, in your environment, can put more pressure than what you're already exerting on yourself. Because if you think about it, if we just rely on exterior pressure to dictate how much effort, how much accomplishment we have in our lives, we're going to be fucking, excuse my language, I've been listening to too much provocative music, but we're going to be living very average lifestyles if that's what we have. Because if you think about it, here in America, if you're my age and you still live with your parents, or you're younger, or even if you're older, like, we're really comfortable, dude. It's almost insane, like, compared to the rest of the world, where we stand in terms of our standard of living. What being relentless is all about is, regardless of whether you have so much pressure already or whether you have no pressure, you yourself in your own head, you have all the pressure in the world to succeed, to give it your all, to really put it all on the line, to go balls to the wall, so to speak. And it's a tough mentality to adopt. I know for a fact, I've only met like 1 or 2 people, if that, and I question them sometimes, if that have that true mentality. And it's up to you, man. Like, you gotta really decide how much are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want. Because if your answer is something other than everything, you gotta question yourself, do you really want it bad enough? Because if your answer isn't everything, do you really want it bad enough? That's what it comes down to. Now, there's something in here that I related to a lot as well. It really resonated with me. Was the fact that really unstoppable people, they just get in the zone. Like when it comes to working, when it comes to working out, when it comes to putting in effort, when it comes to time to grind, it's just everything else is blanked out. You're in your zone, you're in your head. Nothing can talk to you, nothing can distract you. You're just getting it no matter what. And he mentions in this book, like when you're in your zone, people can talk to you. And it's like you're not even there. You're just so concentrated on getting the end result that nothing else matters at that time. And I'm not talking about like fully desperate, like, oh, I gotta get back to work, I gotta get back. No, none of that. You're in there for a purpose, and you're not straying away for nothing. And I was like, wow, like, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And I hope someone in the audience, from you viewers, you guys can relate to this as well. Because ultimately, if you guys know anything about the law of attraction, you guys know Bob Proctor and all these people who really believe in that, like metaphysical science, your thoughts materialize, right? Materialize into your life. Like the more you think about a certain thing, the more you're gonna see it come into your life. It's gonna like attract. It's kind of like a magnet, and it's crazy. I see this all the time. So my advice and my suggestion. Let me backtrack a little. Actually, I took psychology last semester in college, and one of the things I learned in psychology is that mentally, psychologically, you are the 5 people you associate yourself with most. So, and it's crazy because this is so true. And if you really deep down are honest with yourself, you'll know it's true too. Like say for example, you hang out with people who play nothing but video games all their life, who on their free time, instead of seeking out opportunities and looking for businesses or like whatever, like making money, planning for the future, if all they do is play video games, and you're surrounding yourself with them every day, guess what? Are you going to be a freaking millionaire in 10 years? Most likely not. You're probably going to become a video game addict just like them. If you surround yourself with a bunch of potheads, a bunch of party goers, a bunch of people who just waste their life drinking, are you going to be a millionaire in 10 years? Probably not. You'll probably be an alcoholic, a pothead just like them. So I say that to say this, like the reason I'm really making these videos is that someone in the audience, someone in you viewers will really get me. You see what I'm saying? Will really understand the severity of life. Like this isn't a fucking game. Excuse my language. This isn't a game. This is where whatever you're doing right now is going to dictate what your future is going to be like. And it can either be very cool, very awesome, sensational, fantastic, whatever you want to call it, or it can be lame. Like if all you do is sleep all day, question yourself, really think about that. So my goal for making these YouTube videos is that I might be part of your inner circle. I might be part of those 5 people you associate yourself with. Maybe not physically, but if I can mentor you or I can give you any part of advice that you can apply it to yourself and change your life positively, I made my day. You made my goal right there. Because school failed to teach us so many things. Like, okay, I know the Pythagorean theorem, but when am I going to use that? Right? Like, it's not practical. That's why I read so much books outside of college. I'm a full-time college student, business owner, blogger. I'm actually an author too, coming out with a book. Stay tuned. But you really got to plan for the future. Like, what are you doing for the future? Besides the things that you're required to do already. Like, for example, I'm already required to go to school full-time. Maybe not required, but I know it'll benefit me in the future, so I'm doing it. But since I'm enrolled in that school, I have to do certain things that I have to. But what am I doing outside of it is what really counts. Because time is the most precious asset we have. Because whether we spend it wisely or whether we just waste it away, it's ticking. It's unbiased if we worked or we did not. It doesn't care. It doesn't care who your parents are. It doesn't care what situations you have to go through. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is how focused you were on benefiting your future. And that's why I'm here for you guys. I'm here to benefit your future. Society failed us. It's alright. I'm here to try to help you guys, alrighty? Let's be relentless together. Be relentless on your goals. Me and you might not have the same goals. It's alright. But I know for a fact, if you are relentless about chasing your goal, you will get there. And as always, whoever has ears to hear, let them hear.